Hey, I'm David.
And I'm Jenna.
And we are founding Portrait Church with a team of people coming to Celina this fall.
So about 10 years ago, I was teaching in Celina before we had our first son, Matt. And I stopped teaching, started at Rock Creek Church here, and now Rock Creek is sending us out to plant. And so it's really cool to see it come full circle.
Dude, it's crazy, because back when you were teaching at the high school in Celina, we had no idea that, one, we'd ever go into ministry full time, and then two, that we'd ever be called to go plant a church in Celina. But man, God has made it really, really clear that this is our next step, and we're excited that Rock Creek in Prosper is actually supporting us to go do this endeavor. So here's how the story actually went down. So since 2016, there's been kind of a yearning in my heart to potentially start a new church at some point. In fact, I was praying as we were driving away from one of the life groups that we were part of at the time. And my prayer was really simple. I was like, God, would you ever have us plant a church? And it was one of the few times that it was so clear the Holy Spirit like immediately answered by popping this thought into my heart. And here's what he said. He said, not yet. Wasn't a no, wasn't a yes. It was a not yet. And I'm hard-headed, so do you remember the drive when I then turned to you? You had no clue I was praying that internally. And then I was like, hey, what do you think about starting a church one day? And what did you say?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. And yet, so I went home, journaled that. It was a pretty strong impression and I think a nudge. But in 2020, things started to really increase in terms of my desires to go plant a church. And I remember talking with a friend, and he was like, what's holding you back? It seems like God's given you this vision to go start this church. And I remember telling him, I said, well, I just want to make sure that I know God's in it and this isn't just my desire.
Right.
And he goes, what would convince you? And I said, well, if my wife, Jenna, came to me and said, I think we're supposed to go plant a church, then I'd be convinced. Fast forward 1 month, we're out at a conference, a church conference in Arizona. And I knew Jenna needed to be there. I didn't know why, but I just felt like she needed to be at this conference. And so we're 2 songs into this worship service. You get up, leave the service, and walk out. And like inside, I'm ticked off. I'm like, this is such good worship. What are you doing?
You were so mad.
And then after the service, you came and grabbed me, and you're like, come back. We need to talk. And I'm like, yeah, we do. Like, let's go. And then what did you tell me?
I told you needed to plant a church, and then you freaked out.
And then I did. I actually panicked. Like this dream seemed like it was actually becoming actual.
You're right.
And then I had a momentary freak out that lasted probably 6 months. And then we finally stepped into this call to go start this church. So super, super excited for what God's going to be doing. I feel like he's already preparing the way with so many different doors that he's opened. Even getting to meet at Martin Elementary and Celina ISD, where Celina had been pretty closed off to churches. Even when you taught there, they didn't let churches meet in their schools. So man, there's just story after story of God's provision. I'm super, super excited to go do this together and with the team of people that we've got coming with us as well. So, hey, maybe you want to go start a church as well. Maybe you feel like God's calling you to more. Man, we'd love to invite you to check out Portrait Church. You can go to the website, weareportrait.church, for more details on upcoming launch events. We hope to see you soon.
Bye.
Perfect. Okay.
That actually went okay.